Next week, the Judiciary Committee will hear firsthand from President Biden's Supreme Court nominee, Judge Jackson. It'll be a serious and dignified process. The American people need answers to more important questions than what somebody wrote in the nominee's high school yearbook. The Senate needs to examine Judge Jackson's qualifications. We need to examine her judicial philosophy and see if she will apply laws as written and weigh cases without favoritism. And we need to explore why the farthest left activists in the country desperately wanted Judge Jackson in particular for this vacancy. Judicial philosophy is a key qualification for the Supreme Court. There are plenty of smart lawyers in the country, but they don't all understand that a judge's proper role is to apply the text of the laws neutrally. Some would rather start with liberal outcomes and reason backward. So it's unsettling that senior Democrats have lauded Judge Jackson for the, quote, empathy they suggest shapes her judicial approach. So if you're the litigant for whom the judge has special pre-existing empathy, well, it's your lucky day. But the other party's being denied their fair day in court. The Senate Democratic leader, the House Majority Whip, and multiple legal academics all say Judge Jackson will rule with, quote, empathy, end quote. Hopefully, one professor clarified which kinds of litigants would benefit from her empathy. He proposed that because of Judge Jackson's, quote, ample criminal defense experience, end quote, she would, quote, bring a measure of empathy to the criminal defense cases, the Fourth and Fifth Amendment cases, end quote. So, liberals are saying that Judge Jackson's service as a criminal defense lawyer and then on the U.S. Sentencing Commission give her special empathy for convicted criminals. Her supporters look at her resume and deduce a special empathy for criminals. I guess that means that government prosecutors and innocent crime victims start each trial at a disadvantage. That isn't my assertion. That is what the nominee's liberal supporters are all saying. In fact, the nominee has all but said it herself. Here's what the Washington Post reported last year when Judge Jackson was nominated to the D.C. Circuit. Quote, she and her allies credit her work as a public defender as helping her develop empathy. And here they quote the nominee herself. This is a direct line from my defender service to what I do on the bench, and I think it's beneficial. So look, nobody is saying that public defenders ought to be disqualified from judicial service. It's an important role. But as the New York Times reported this week, the Biden administration is on an intentional quest to stuff the federal judiciary full of this one perspective. Even amid a national crime wave, a disproportionate share of the new judges President Biden has nominated share this professional background that liberals say gives judges special empathy for criminal defendants. Here's the New York Times quote. It's a sea change in the world of judicial nominations. The type of high-profile murder cases handled by some of the Biden's nominees would have been considered disqualifying only a few years ago. Now the president is actively seeking to name more jurists who have such experience. It's not just Judge Jackson, quote. At least 20 other lawyers with significant public defender experience have been nominated by the Biden administration. One soft-on-crime advocate marveled to the reporter, quote, we've never seen anything like this. Such enthusiasm. President Biden is deliberately working to make the whole federal judiciary softer on crime. Even liberals admitted much. They just actually applaud it. But with murders and carjacking skyrocketing nationwide, I doubt the American people feel the same way. I look forward to learning more about how Judge Jackson believes her service as a criminal defense attorney leads her to interpret the text of our laws and our Constitution differently than other judges. If any judicial nominee really does have special empathy for some parties over others, That's not an asset. It's a problem.